Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Fantasy Rugby Games. My name is Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauser.
Here we go. This should be an entertaining pod at the very least because we have a lot of shit that we can dive into that's not just matches. So
a lot of off-field drama just in the last recent days. We'll get to fairly quickly, but
right.
Just real interesting shit and a lot of games being moved around that I don't know we're going to talk too much about those.
Not yet. No, probably when we dive back into the prem next week.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. So you survived your shot. You now have 5G capabilities.
I do. My reception is greatly enhanced.
Oh man, yeah.
I have a fifth sense.
Does this mean we can bang now?
We always could.
It's just a matter of risk. You always can. It's just a matter of what's the risk.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like that's a merit badge in COVID, like pandemic times, getting laid. Like
people
not
did
by
it.
Not by a significant other.
Right. I memean, yeah. I'm. Yeah. As married gentlemen, I guess shout out to the single people who
didn't go nuts with this stuff.
Right.
Right. All right.
May you get all the laid you deserve.
Right. Let's pop some. I agree. Yeah, go out there and get yourself some action now. All right, and obviously you want to check us out on Spotify, Google Play, all your favorite podcast spots. Download, rate, review. Buy our friend the Fantasy Rugby Geek a coffee. He's always deserving of it. And this weekend you're going to be looking for some real tips to hopefully survive your semifinal.
Can we take a moment to celebrate the Geeks' second place overall finish?
I think it was like fourth, but yeah, in the Women's Six Nations, that was pretty wild.
Out of 25,000.
Woo! Attaboy, George.
500. Sorry, 25,500. Like that's a huge that's
huge.
There is a market for this. So
yeah, that's great. Yeah, and they are talking about making that a different window from here forward, which will be great. I think that's only a good thing.
Yep.
Grab your TRM upgrades, Restart Rugby, and Restart Weekends coming up as well. So grab those and support those guys out there. And obviously you get to have the inside track on who's starting in TRM as well. So that'll be helpful. That green dot does wonders. As
for TRM, I'm sorry, for FRD, though, because it's been a while since we mentioned them. And I feel like what gets complained about when it exists should get praised when they fix it. And FRD, congratulations, really good job. The Friday lineup notification time, which was a fucking killer earlier in the year, they fixed it. Now we no longer notice it. So good job.
Yeah, it's no longer the chaos that it was.
We haven't been nice enough to them lately, so
that's fair enough.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for getting that sorted out, and good on you. I know it's a small team over there. Black Lives Matter, as always, with this podcast, and as it should, and there's no room for racism in this world at all. It's interesting, and I have this in the notes, but we'll talk about it now. We have a social media boycott going for rugby and football, proper football, this coming weekend. For Prem, it's not a big deal. There's only 2 Premiership teams in action this weekend. But so from Friday until Monday, they're going to just completely go silent, because the point is completely accurate. Like, so much hate gets spewed and violence gets incited on social media, and they do nothing about it.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah. And seeing what Simi Pam goes through, and we know it's not just the racism aspect too. There's also
a little misogyny in there.
A lot of misogyny, which is way too much around sports. It's better than it used to be, but that only highlights the people who maintain that mindset.
Yeah.
And it's worse for a player like Simi Pam, who's both Black and a woman, and an awesome player and a doctor, and still gets shit on.
She's better than most of us out here. I hate to tell you guys.
Yeah,
she's winning life right now.
Right.
My wife Simi Pam wins.
Yeah, she's beating you. There's no need to treat her like that at all. So, and I'm really happy for Saracens, not only Saracens women, but Saracens men. Bristol Bears, Bears women, Bristol Bears men. are doing that boycott, and I'm sure part of that is with for respect for her too.
Right. Yeah, I think all the Prem clubs are now.
Yeah. Exeter.
Yeah, sort your shit out, you fuckers. But it's a I hope it rings to the social media companies. I know it won't be a lot, but I do think it's a huge problem that needs to be addressed. Like, you can't just go around fucking sending just all this racist bullshit just because you're behind a fucking screen. Like,
right.
If you don't have the cojones to tell somebody this to your face, don't be sending it over a fucking screen.
Exactly.
Keyboard
Twitter,
warriors.
Like, yeah, again, it's sports. There's no excuse for being a dick like that when it comes to sports. I do draw the line at politics because that actually affects lives. Blah blah blah. Yeah, tell the politician they suck. Tell Kristen Sinema she's freaking asshole for being an asshole. But yeah, when it comes to sports, just they're trying their best, right? They fuck up. They flush me. They trust me. They know when they fuck up.
Yeah, nobody's gonna know it better than them.
And they know about more of their fuck ups than you do. So like,
likely
some of them, they know about the rest of them, and they hear about them after every match. So
absolutely,
yeah, be nice. Give them the support that they deserve. And if they don't deserve, if you're pissed at them, just whatever, let it go.
Yeah, and certainly don't tag them in something that's bashing them or hating or hating them, and certainly not something that's throwing super hate language out there. Like, nah, just if you have a criticism of them, cool, say it. Just you can type the name, people will find it anyway. Trust me.
Right,
but no need to tag them.
Tag, and don't snitch tag. If someone says shit, don't
about
someone without tagging them, don't tag the fucking player.
Yeah, the point was that they didn't want to tag them. Don't fucking do it for them, ass.
Right. No need for that.
Slap. Okay. We are opening up a second tier of Champions League. So if you want to get in on that, we need eight new owners. It's going to be the 3 FRD competitions and the 2 TRM competitions. And we are getting to the pointy end of our season here, and it's going to be fun. And we'll start introducing promotion and relegation. Don't want to be in that last spot.
No ring fencing in the Champions League.
None of that crap. So we just get at Ben or I if you are interested in it. We'll start putting it out there on the Twitters as well.
Again, it's been one of the most fun experiences I've had playing fantasy sports.
Right, and it's just so much to it,
bar none. Because and the group chat is fun too. Yeah. Right. The talking, because it's not just shit talking. It's a lot of good shit that's going on, but and discussion that goes on there too. So yeah, it's a fantastic experience, and we're kicking each other's ass all over the place in every competition.
It seems to be, yeah. Somebody's kicking ass here, somebody's getting their ass tonked there. It's always fun.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right, a little bit of player movement. So Owen Williams is returning to the Prem. He's coming to Worcester. Worcester had a haul the last couple of days between him and Bailanu is going there. I mean, really, in the sense of Bailanu going there, it makes sense for him because there is no room for him in that Wasp back row right now.
Right, none at all.
Not with everybody healthy, and even with some guys injured, it's still got a few bodies in front of him at this point, in my opinion, at least. Mm-hmm. I do remember when he signed from Saracens to Wasp, people were like, "Why'd they let him go?" Now you see why they let him go.
Yeah.
Yes, he has some good. He has he's had some great moments for them. He's not consistent enough. No. That being the big problem. Consistency.
He is well-rounded, though.
Oh, quite. Extremely. The injuries. Oh my, the injuries. Oh, we saw a few of them in
every comp.
Yeah, pretty much every comp. The biggest one in terms of the Lions has got to be George North going down, and that's just. I think most people had him on the plane, and that's just absolutely devastating for the guy, and feel terrible for him.
It's just the guy is fucking snake bit.
Seems it.
He's so fucking talented, and if it's not somebody clearing him out, taking a high shot on him, it's now his knee, and that's just it's awful.
Yeah,
very unfortunate.
Poor guy, and then. One of the guys and we talked about captains a while ago, and one of the guys we agreed that you probably run through a wall for was Joe Launchbury, and poor Joe has went and done his knee, and it just
that did not look good at all.
No.
I was one of those. I hope that's not like what I think it is, and unfortunately,
it was. And Lee Blackett, I think, right after the match, even said, "Yeah, this is probably one of the worst injuries we could think of." So, in terms of severity, I was like, "Ooh, that's not great."
Yeah,
and that's all. And that's without seeing scans or anything like that. So,
right.
I will say this. Listen, folks. If somebody walks off the field, do not assume shit. Because if you tear your ACL, it's actually not going to really bother them that much in terms of pain.
No,
it's just going to be very unstable.
Yeah, I walked. I kitted down. I carried my shit, including both my kit and my fold up chair to the car. Like I think with a tub of water or like a jug of water too. Because as you do when you walk back from a rugby match.
Right.
Yeah, and it was weird. Every other every couple steps I took were a little funky.
Yeah, when you when you completely tear it, that's what happens.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't mean that you.
Yeah,
doesn't mean it works.
I just want people to understand that because I've seen so many guys walk off the field. Oh, he walked off under his own power. I'm like, yep, still might have torn his ACL. Hate to tell you. And I'm not laughing at it because it sucks. I'm laughing at it because people just assume way too much shit.
Exactly.
And then Yohan Uje's career has come to a devastating end. It seems
just the worst. It's such a terrible way to end a career.
Right.
I feel bad because going back to my ACL thing, it's like I thought my career was over, so I didn't really have much to train for, and so it really did screw up my recovery. So that's what I worry about that for other people. I eventually got all right, but it does hurt you mentally when there's nothing to when George North, there's every motivation for him to get back.
Absolutely.
Same for Launchbury. But for Huget, for him to go through recovery is going to be the true test of mental strength to not become a tubbo.
Yeah, right, and just not do the work that's required for an injury like that.
That too.
Yeah, kind of a bright spot. We did see Jack Willis sitting in the stands with a big old brace on, but hey, it was good to see him sitting in the stands and smiling, and which means he's back around the club, which means he's probably progressing well enough that they feel like they can handle it from there, which is great because that's the point you want to get to when you're a player because you don't want to be on your own for too long. It just sucks.
Yeah.
So, and he's had a rough go, as we know as well. So good to see him back out there. All right, let's go on to the next one. And this is something I was just like, I couldn't let this go this weekend, so we have to talk about it. Name your referee that actually knows what the fuck they're calling when they referee the scrum. I'll wait.
I'll tell you this much. I love the fact that the TMOs are getting, or not the TMOs, sorry, the ARs are the ones who are making the calls sometimes, because that needs to happen, because they can look at near
side, whatever it is,
so much on just that one thing, and see who went down, who pushed it, because we saw in a couple matches where one prop gets forward, the other prop just hinges, so they fall, and so the first prop with who's dominant goes down, and they're like, oh no, you went down, and it's like, no, he just let it fall.
No, he let the bind go, dick. Right,
the prop who didn't go down was the one who caused it to go down. He gave, and I think there was even one on in the Free Jacks match. I mean, that guy couldn't officiate any part.
Oh, he could not officiate a fucking thing. My goodness.
But the scrum, there was one scrum where the Free Jacks, first off, who was it? Old Glory literally walked to the scrum around, and he ordered a penalty.
Somehow that was their pen. I have no idea. I was like, did we watch the same scrum, or am I crazy?
And then they did it again and the loose head for the Free Jacks flopped because the tight head for old Glory
came right in.
Fall back. No, he pulled back.
Oh, right. That's what it was.
He
just
right. Step back.
So he's clearly walking out and around. Right. That's not hard to figure out.
Yeah, and the Free Jacks were going forward. Even the tight head was going forward, because their loose head was kind of going back and around too. And they called it on, give the penalty to Glory. And it's like they're not. They were getting fucked. But no, too many officials don't know what they're looking for.
Not a clue.
And that's, like, I think still a product of, I feel like the announcers, the commentators are doing a better job describing what's happening in the scrum. There's not much, like, you only hear the old fogies at this point say, "Oh, it's the dark arts." The young guys are like, "No, it's just all right. This guy's wheeling. This guy's
Yeah, it's not too hard to figure out at this point.
right." Like, come on, that's lazy. Don't be doing like that. But the problem is that knowledge and understanding isn't making it, to these referees.
Somehow is not. Yeah, like get a couple front row coaches into these refereeing clinics and have them talk about it and have them understand all the things that these guys do to cheat and get the edge, because if they can do that, and then they'll be better off and better equipped to see these dicey decisions that they have to make. So I just want the refereeing on the scrum to improve just a tiny bit, please.
Yeah, right.
Just a tiny bit. That's all I ask. Oh, all right. And we talked about the social media. We don't talk about it much these days. Saracens answered the bell.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned them earlier. I saw it on the sheet, and
yeah,
I mentioned them instead of Bears because that's the word I was reading.
Mm.
But yeah, Sarries fucking step the fuck up and kind of show their class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and where they are within the championship.
Right. Farrell brought his A game to this one, it sounds like. So, I mean, for all the people that were, giving Ealing everything because they won those 2 games in those friendlies, I was like, don't be sitting there and tooting that horn too much right now, because there's a lot missing from this boys in black lineup, and I don't know if you want to be poking that bear just yet. So it was. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they answered the call when it came up. That was probably the toughest match they had left to play outside of obviously the semifinals and the final. But so that'll be interesting to see how the run into the championship goes here towards the final. Women's Six Nations. This was a good old fashioned arm wrestle. Oh man, England and France.
Yeah, little nervy. Little nervy.
Both teams.
Yeah. And not much scoring. Nope. But that doesn't mean there wasn't much,
action. Yeah.
Action. It was good action. It was like it was almost like I feel like a lot of the game was played. I mean, it was 22-22, and then the defense would just be like, "Nope, stealing the."
Yeah, that would be the end right there.
Yeah. And then they would march down to the other team's, territory, and then something, the defense would shut it down. Just excellent. I think like the attacking could have been better. Yes, could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that goes to nerves, right? The passes weren't exactly crisp,
definitely.
And players had to they were good about saying, you know what, I'm going to eat the ball, eat the tackle, rather than try to make something happen and fuck up there. So they were, nerves, but good decisions to make up for them.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't lead to the most like entertaining.
No,
but
and you're looking at 2 teams that have tonked both in their matches, in both of them, and really we knew this was just a collision course coming in here, more than likely. Not to say that the other teams haven't improved; they definitely have. It's just
Ireland for one.
Yep, that was a big one. That was a big jump for them this year, I think. But it's not to say that, again, not to say that, but at the same time, these 2 teams had not played the quality that they were going against for a while. So it was definitely going to be some adjustment.
Yeah, a little bit of feeling out. Definitely, you know what? They say it's a little bit cliche, but like heavyweight title fight, right? A lot of feeling out, a lot of trying to figure out where the weakness spots were, and the answer was nowhere. So that's what happens.
Yeah. India, I thought was immense in this match for the French, as usual. Just holy physicality. That woman can do it.
Yeah, she's not fucking around.
No. And then, hey, I love it when you call me Big Poppy. got the winning try. Love Poppy Cleo. Yes.
She laid it on the line.
Yeah, and came off with a shoulder injury. She's playing this weekend too.
Fucking A.
She moved to 6, so Hunter can come into 8.
She's a beast. It's great.
Love that woman.
Yeah.
Love that woman and and Bronny too, but definitely her.
Right.
So congratulations to the England women and getting the job done. And it was a fun match to watch. Just the same, it was very interesting tactically wise. So that certainly made it enjoyable for nerds like Ben and I. Let's go to the Aotearoa Chiefs Hurricanes. The result is what we thought it was going to be, right. But at least the Hurricanes fucking put in a shift.
They did.
I
was, they were not, they weren't fucking around, and they came back. There had no, like the Chiefs had momentum. I feel so. I'm biased here. No,
Durr.
So I'm interested in seeing how we've both viewed this match from different perspectives, because the way I saw it, the Chiefs had like ascendancy for most of the match. Like it was theirs. And then fucking Billy Proctor. Billy Proctor.
Billy Proctor.
Got the right Proctor.
That
Proctor. Just what a dick. He can just come in and change this match like that. And, and obviously fair play to him. But, other than Proctor there, I felt like the Chiefs really controlled the play for most of the match.
But then, the likes of him and Amua, just, man, that dude's hard to stop. He gets going. It's really hard to tackle him. Yeah. It really is. He's just such a bowling ball. I was just like, ooh, that's going to hurt, isn't it?
I need to give credit to Peter Gustogakula.
Yeah, played pretty well.
Plus
he got over the line.
To my normal point, that play right off the bat, when he just fucking dropped the ball right on the goal line or the try line. Fucking dick hands.
Dildo hands.
That's what we're gonna see from Peter Gus today. Like I even texted you. I weren't even watching this at the same time, and I'm like, fucking Peter Gus is gonna Peter Gus this up. But no, he put in a shift. So good for him. And like you said, scored a try, big try too. So.
Yep.
Good work for him. Now, the last bit of this, I'll let you.
Well, so here's the thing, and there's a couple of things that people are getting hot on, and I see their point in it, and I am annoyed to a point as well. The kick chase, like I get you want to get guys back, and that's not, but kick chase when it's irrelevant, and by the time the guy's taken 3 steps, it doesn't matter. Right. The guy's already been put on side. So I was like, why are you penalizing that? That is so arbitrary and just stupid. That doesn't make sense to just go out and blindly penalize the guy because he took. Listen, I get it, but they have that whole within 10 meters rule. Right. Like, yes, there's that too. So that should fix all those instances. But for whatever reason, they decide, let's grab this arbitrary guy that has no effect on the play whatsoever, but let's penalize him anyway. So let's do that. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Well, it doesn't matter which team it is. So I totally see people's point about that, and I'm annoyed about it too.
I was thinking you were going to go the other way, to the other penalty, the one more. And then you lose your advantage. We're going to go back to the.
I understood what his point was. One more, and then I'm going back to the advantage. Not one more, and we're done, and the advantage is over. That makes no sense.
Okay.
So and Colsey took it the wrong way, and I was like, no. Actually, I get what he's saying, and I was like, wait, didn't you say no? Never mind. That's not what you meant. Your word choice was poor, but I get what you're saying. The decision was right.
You're not going to get advantage over in that situation. Like, it's just not. You're right on the goal line.
No.
But it was taken wrong, and I wasn't sure that, because I saw you had been, you texted me that, because again we weren't watching at the same time. Jared texted me that he was pissed about Paul Williams. I thought that's what he was talking about.
Oh, it was that final scrum decision. I was like, nope, that tight head definitely the tight head definitely pulled the scrum down, but it was because it was the loose heads bind that was on the inside that he saw that. I was like, nope, that was just him being crafty. You are stupid.
I thought it was fine.
Good Durr. Of course you did. D-Mac still had to hit it, and I knew he was going to, but I was like, well, he might fuck this up, but he's not going to.
I you know what, and I'm okay, so I'm also starting to now that he's hit a couple of these big kicks that he had been missing recently,
right?
I'm starting to be okay with the smile. I think the smile is, at this point, it looked fucking like he's trying to be cheeky. And maybe he is, but I also think it's a little bit of it's visualization. He's visualizing.
It's a bit of his routine, I think, at this point, really. And kickers are weird like that. They have these strange routines.
I miss Faz's old routine though. The robot.
Yeah, the look.
Yeah, it's all very.
They cut it. They always end up cutting it down as their career goes on because they start to figure out what about that routine makes sense to them and what doesn't. The big arena is no longer the big arena that it once was. That was fun to watch as it used to be the old thing. But Bigger's calmed down, but he still hits his kicks. So there's nothing really to hate about that at all. But the Chiefs put themselves in a really good position going into this weekend. Yeah, we're close. They need to finish the job this weekend.
No, they flinched. They have it based because they have more wins.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they have more wins. So they have 2 more wins than the Blues.
That makes more sense. Okay, I did not know that.
They're through.
I was looking at it. I was just like, did they? Nope. But anyway,
I did that research because I was like, I was in that same spot. I'm like, nope. Okay, they're through.
Yeah, cool. Oh, good on them. So in on the other side of it though, Crusaders and Blues, Blues let themselves down a little bit, and I don't think the Crusaders played especially well. I just think the Blues played rather poorly, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's kind of that, when you're kind of gutted because going into the match that your season's over essentially. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's just too bad that they decided to pack it in because if I'm Leon McDonald, I'm definitely a little pissed and I'm firing some rockets up their ass for this coming weekend and then to the Trans-Tasman as well.
But you also got to figure who's really the senior leadership on the Blues.
See, I mean, it was Tui Pelotu, but he hasn't played.
Right. So it's like that, they don't have a guy like the people we've been talking about, like the Launchburys, to really settle him down and keep him focused on the job.
Right. Yeah.
All their stars are incredibly young.
Yeah. And they needed some calmer heads for sure. Yeah. Papa Lee could have been that guy, but again, he's not super old either. No. So, you feel like you just got to lean on somebody a little bit in there. Well, that's how that goes. But and then we got a surprise result on the other side of the sea there with the Force going into the semifinal. That is such a. I mean, think about this team last year. It was such a they rocked. They stepped into this competition because they were like, yes, we want to play some more rugby and we want to be helpful. So we would like to join this competition, even though we're going to probably get our asses tonked, and they did. And this year they've made life difficult for every team they've played, just about. So with the exception of 1 or 2.
Yeah, and their wins have been some last minute stuff. They've been gutting things out. It's just Jordan Olawafela with the hat trick. So
that helps.
That helps. But it's Jordan Olawafela scoring a hat trick. Like that's that just shows they got players stepping up. And rocking up for this from pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, can't hate it at all.
I still don't want to play against Tupou.
Yeah, Daniela Tupou. Yeah, nobody does. I don't think he's in form. He seems in form. He's going to have a couple weeks to rest too. So look out, everybody. Okay, so and then let's jaunt ourselves up to the Prem. Bristol Exeter. If you're a Bristol fan, I don't think you need to panic.
No, not at all. This to me is I'm going to point you right back to what we were talking about earlier, and I teased this to the Saracens, right? I think this was a really smart head game move on Bristol's part. Because they don't need this match. This is not a match that they need to win to take the top. They're in control of their own destiny even after a loss like this. So yeah, you kind of you play some of your horses, but you also throw out some of your ponies and see what they do. This was not a full noise Bristol team by any stretch.
No.
But they played against a full noise Exeter team.
100%.
So they've seen what Exeter are going to bring. Like they kind of got a preview of the game plan that and how they'll use the players that they have. So it's free game footage against their system for Bristol.
Yep.
That's what this was.
Yeah, with Malins at 10 and not Sheedy and some other guys that Bedlow at 12.
You think Bedlow's going to play in the fucking Prem final?
No. Hell no.
No. Is he going to be in the 23? No.
Yeah, he probably won't be in the 23. We still, hopefully Thacker comes back, but Burns obviously been their best hooker without a doubt. Capon's done a very good job substituting, so there's still something in the locker there.
Oh yeah, I mean they have a fucking fantastic. Like this was not a team that was sent out to lose. They were sent out to compete, no doubt. Just that, 100%. I mean, this result was pretty much what was expected.
Mm-hmm. And to the Chiefs' credit, Sam Simmons is still pretty fast, even on one knee.
Yeah,
or one ankle, whatever it was.
Yeah, just ballsy. Great, major props to Sam. Both
60
Sams,
minutes on that bum ankle,
right, and a lot of work done in that 60.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have to talk about Johnny Hill's boot.
I was like, what the hell was that? I mean, of course, nobody's going to be home at back because nobody's expecting him to fucking kick it.
Right. But that's the thing. So here's the thing, forwards. Let me talk to you to, come in close and don't let your coaches hear. It's okay to practice that because you never know off of a turnover. You're going to be in space, and sometimes your best option is to hoof it. As long as you know to keep it in, in play and all that. I mean, when I mean practice it, I don't mean just fucking, hey, I'm a prop, I'm just going to fucking launch it wherever. Who cares? No, learn how to aim, learn how to, get the bounce you want. It's extra fun.
It can be.
And it's especially you get to do shit like that. And everybody's like, how the hell did you learn to do that? It's like, yeah, I practiced it. But only if you don't just do it because you'll kick it to touch.
Yeah, you likely will. You'll shank it.
No, learn a grubber, right? Because that really,
that's useful for most players. Yeah,
do no harm. You get a little bit behind the line, and then you put out a grubber for, a player to go chase down, like we saw in one of the Gloucester match.
Right.
Although it went directly to touch. Louis Rees-Zammit's out there. All right, I'm just gonna put the ball there.
Let's try that.
Just anywhere in that general area, he'll chase it down. No big deal. Yeah, learn it.
It's good stuff. Yeah, it's good. It's the good stuff. Love it. So Bristol, fall, but really, I don't think there's a lot to be complained about. Exeter get what they likely wanted out of this match was all 5 points. Or 4, or they get 5. They did get 5. Did I make that up?
I don't know if they got the bonus point. No, they did not. They only scored 3 tries.
Okay, well, that's their problem then. But they do get the win, which was what was most important to them to clinch that second spot. That's the thing. They don't need to be chasing that down right now. And right now it's on the wire, so it'll be interesting going into the run-in. Go to Saturday morning. Matt fucking Carley. God damn it, you suck. God damn, you suck.
He really does.
Ugh. How is this guy an international referee? He's as bad, if not worse, than some of the French. Like, what the fuck? Because
he wants to be the star, right? It's the Matt Carley show. What I say goes. You're gonna do as I say, and it's like, you know what? Just let them play rugby.
Shame of refereeing. Like, oh my god, this guy could not have been worse this game. He really couldn't have, and really wanted to fuck it for Quins. Really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God,
he really did, and like he got it. He got it in his head that they were the bad guy, even though really neither team was the bad guy. And then all that did was start shit between the two teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it did.
Way to go, dickhead! You started the shit. You didn't even relax it. You just started the shit.
Right.
Good job.
Yeah, no cooling it down, just making it worse. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, no, and I've not seen a referee that just absolutely 100% wants to ignore his TMO the whole time. Like, I get it. You're the referee. You make the decisions, but they're there. They can see the pictures better than you more often than not, and give you some advice. And there's a difference between being on the line and then being like, I think this is it. This has been my interpretation the whole time, and then just being miles apart, which I felt like he always is with his TMO.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, God damn it. So kind of killed the match.
It did. Well, it almost did.
Until Marcus fucking Smith. I loved it. I was like, he just wanted to sing for him, didn't he? And I love the fact that he took the ball and just like, nope, I'm doing this.
Well, some of us, on their TRM teams through through the C from Sam Simmons, thinking, oh, he's going against Bristol. They'll contain him at least. He won't get 50 or 60. So I gave the C and the K to Marcus Smith, and he was all right, but
up until that,
hoping for that. I was like, every so often in this situation, Marcus Smith will like do a little cut and score. I was like, can we have that, please? Like, going into that lineup, I'm like, can we just do that? I really would enjoy that. And then it happened. So I was happy on so many levels.
Yep. And yeah, the kid is so freaking good. He deserves to be an international player of some sort of quality.
Put him on the fucking plane. There's no reason to be on that plane.
I mean,
the quality of fly halves are not terribly impressive. Out, there's Finn, there's Dan Bigger, and then who else you got? That's better than Marcus Smith. You don't shut up, sit down.
Yeah, brilliant from the man. On the other note, we talked about injuries. Will Evans, shit kid.
That sucks.
I hope I get better, bud. Good. That's I think it's a lower leg bone that broke there.
Yep.
Ugh. So get better, kid.
He's been playing so good.
Yeah, he played so well, and I hope he gets better sooner rather than later, and we can see him soon.
One thing I want to talk about tactically. Sorry that I missed. I missed my notes until just now.
Boy.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting what the Irish did for Esterhazen. Basically gave him Stokes to run at. You put like a fullback at 12. It's like, well, all right, that's where he's going to run. And what it did was it just sucked in the attack. Yeah, he gained meters, but there was no play out the back. And the Quins got, obviously lately they've been on a big give it to Esterhazen to weaken, soften up the defense, and then we'll spin it wide when they started coming down to guard against that. And instantly they said they were using it like, here's they're like bullfighters, like here's your red cape, run here, and then they trapped him. And Quins just didn't have anything outside of that. It really fucked up their attack. So I was questioning it at first, but it worked really, really well. So really well done by the coaches at London Irish.
Yeah, and they don't have they won't have Ben Mee in the rest of the year. He's left for personal reason, which is always a sad thing to hear because it means something went horribly wrong with the person privately, which is not what you want to hear about. So yeah, and Levis returned for the Quins again, which is good. They're better with him in the lineup. So hopefully we see him from the go in a couple weeks here.
Yeah, and he stays healthy too because he's been in and out.
Yes, yeah, and he's and they need him going to the end here.
Right.
Yeah, need him for the running. Over the 6 ways, Worcester and Sale. Worcester made it interesting, but they Worcestered it up in the end. But we had a couple of good performances from guys on their team. Jamie Shillicock, wow, that try was just masterful. I was like, I never thought I'd see that out of him. That was just brilliant.
Right?
that was brilliant.
That's a try, you like expect something like that from a Louis Rees-Zammit. Just I'm going to pluck it out of the air, flex my biceps, really cool, just hang in the air for that moment, that frame it for a good split second, and then just burn my way to the
totally.
Just a fucking superhero try, almost literally.
Yeah, right. It was just absolutely fantastic. I just couldn't believe it. And this was not the strongest Sale lineup that we've seen for a while either. And it showed a little bit, obviously, with the scoreline being as close as it was in the end. I know they got a last minute one at the end, and still had a shot at winning it. But I mean, the best scrum half on the field was without a doubt Francois Hugard. Oh my God!
Which is
running the correct lines that you need. That kids at home, those are the lines you need to be running to support your backs and your line breaks. Because that's exactly what happens right there. You get rewarded with that every time. Oh man. So it was and it was I appreciate that Worcester went out there and threw Finn Smith into the fire. They're like, here you go, kid, let's see if you can swim.
Of course, then they went out and signed Owen
Williams. Yeah.
So who knows what they? I mean, they'll use him, or they'll still use Finn Smith. I'm just
he's a baby. He's what, 18? Yeah, they need somebody with a little bit more veteran to bring him through. They won't have Weir next year. Searle is Searle. So yeah, they need some sort of veteran presence in that locker room that can guide some young pups as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Sale team, there was a lot of the guys that you would hope would step up. DDP, Curry were big parts of this thing. Rafi Quirk still looks every bit the part of a Premiership scrum half. So I hope they keep using him as often as possible.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I certainly, certainly like what I'm seeing out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Quirk.
Yeah, totally. And then, it's funny. They pulled AJ early. Like they pulled AJ with 9 minutes to go, and I was like, is this a good idea? I don't know how good of an idea this is.
You still need to win,
and they almost paid for it.
Yeah,
almost paid for it. But in the end, they did get it done. So we'll see. We'll see how this how it goes from here.
Speaking of the Sale lineup, you and I have talked about it. In private, I guess, on but we haven't mentioned it on the show. Is Jono Ross basically on the outs at Sale?
I don't know, because I heard something about a suspension, but I also haven't been able to confirm that.
No, he's not suspended. So, or at least not from the Prem, unless they've gotten sick of him and they're like, you too many yellows, you're going to sit for a couple weeks. But
right, I haven't
seen him in a while. So right. I'm just wondering, he got a ban back in March, and I don't know that but it was a 1-game suspension. So that's what I'm seeing anyway.
So maybe they're just like, what, you're done.
Yeah. I would appreciate that. I like what he could be, but fuck. Just don't like what he is.
No, I think a lot of people don't. And
Sanderson isn't a guy to fuck around. So
yeah, Dimes was such a just bang the drum for him, and like he's one of the best flankers in the Premiership. I'm like, ability wise, probably, but in terms of his personality, he's a shitbag. Right. So no, you need both of those things. Sorry, like you need to have some sort of internal system that tells you, no, don't do this stupid helmeted play that's gonna get me a yellow or a red.
Right,
and he doesn't turn it on. He doesn't turn it off. Whatever you want to call it. So no, sorry, he's not. He's just not. End of story. So there's that. Sorry, Jono. Bye-bye. Speaking of hammerheads, let's go over to the Midlands Derby. Leicester and Northampton. The team we thought was going to come out on the side of this did, but man, it took some freaking. It took a little bit of heave ho.
Yeah.
Get over the line.
A little bit of work.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, look, Leicester have been pretty hard, they're hard out lately.
They are.
So, it was always going to be at least a little bit tough. Again, always like what I'm seeing from Northampton here the last couple of weeks, even when they were struggling. It was because they were playing the fucking Bristols and Exeters and Sales. Like, yeah, you're gonna struggle against those teams.
Absolutely.
Now they're taking care of business against the teams that they need to if they want to. They're still just on the outside of that top 4, but they're certainly there's a bigger gap between 6th place and them than there is between them and really and second.
Yeah.
Right,
so there you go.
Exeter's at 58. They're at 50. I'm sorry, 50. Sorry. No. Oh, no. It's the same. 58 to 50 to 42. So
there you go.
Yeah, they're
that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's and we saw the return of Nemanja Ndolo in this match, which is never a bad thing in terms of just watching rugby purely.
Right. Bad for Northampton, but really good for them.
They were pissed. They're like, no, keep him off.
Hey.
And we talked about guys that have just stepped in and stepped up and really put in a shift for their teams. Dan Bigger played the a good chunk of this match with an injury and decided I can get this done.
Yeah,
and he did. So good on him for gutting it out and understand. He gave up the kicks, which is probably the one thing that was going to absolutely kill his leg.
Right.
So he was smart in that. But yeah, it was a good job from him. We saw why Dave Ribbons has been called in by Eddie Jones a couple times. I wish he was used by Eddie Jones, but at least we saw why he's been called in. Quite good, quite good. That man is.
And I will say it was fun because right at the last little bit with Lester banging down Saints' door. I was screaming for like right off the line out. I was like, just run Nadolo right at Bigger. Like, how could you not? Like, yes, be that asshole. If you want to win this,
you got to, man. You got to.
It's like no, one of those. Oh shit. The New Jack City. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got to do this to you, bud. But yeah. Yeah. And they did, to their credit, it wasn't right off the line out. They did it like I think a few phases later. But what I really like to see about that wasn't just that Lester did that, but like Bigger had back. They came up, they swarmed. I don't think Nadolo touched Dan Bigger. I think they came in like Secret Service and just stopped him.
No.
Like you don't touch him. Stay away from him. So really cool how they adjusted, both teams there. They played it perfectly and Northampton won it. So with the Heffernan.
Yeah. Young kid.
Didn't have a shirt like until 20 minutes before the match. Rocks up and wins the penalty that wins the game.
Not bad, kid.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Yeah, a couple of late drops in this match for Leicester. We saw. I've always liked Callum Green. We saw some good stuff out of him, and we saw. He's such a hammerhead, and he needs to just take it out of his game, and he's going to be an unbelievable player. Jasper Wiese, has that momentary lapse of concentration where he does something stupid, but other than that, he's usually a fun player to watch. So.
Like 90% of his game is fucking awesome, and the other 10% is just fucking get rid of it.
Get rid of it, dude. It doesn't do you any good.
Like he's been watching too much John O'Ross films. Like, I get it. Like just put that shit away and focus on the rugby, and you'll be fine.
Indeed. Bit of a ended up being kind of a walk for Gloucester and Newcastle, but we saw the return of Lloyd Evans, and boy, did he ever!
He was good.
Yeah, he's quite good. He's quite good.
And Louis Rees-Zammit with he had the try. Didn't he have a couple other kicks? Like it just wasn't going to hand. Like he would have had if he was wearing a Wales jersey, he would have had like 4 tries in this match.
Just didn't quite get there. May left this match early.
Okay, I still don't understand what people get from May. I'm not. I get maybe what he once was, but can we finally realize that he hasn't been that in like 2 or 3 seasons and move on? I mean, put it this way: if Gloucester somehow, and I don't think they can, but if they somehow made the top 4, is Johnny May in their lineup?
I don't know.
He might be in their 23, but I mean, are you going to tell me they're not putting like Thorley and Louis Rees-Zammit on the wing? That's right. Easily without the second thought.
That's a hell of a pair right there.
Right. I just don't. Yeah, I'm kind of done with May.
I think a lot of people are, honestly. So
I hope so, because I hate that he gets put that people are still pushing him, because it's like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah. Well, and we saw the qualities that Willie Hines possesses. We just haven't seen him for a while, but they were on display in this one.
Right.
Good for him.
Forwards again, young forwards, as I was talking about. Did you see Rowan Ackerman? Second week in a row.
When did he start doing good shit?
Right. When did he become a rugby player? It's entertaining as hell, and to have a little chip like that when, especially when you're that forward out on the wing. Yes, please. I'm sure Willie Hines is very happy with that right now.
Yeah. Right.
As is Johnny May, who benefited from it last week.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And, and not to be lost on this, Newcastle had this game and they let it go. They let it go.
About right.
They let it go. Yeah. And this is a team, we saw them have success early in the season. This is now a team that's kind of come crashing back to earth a little bit. And, this is the championship team with a sprinkling of a few guys here and there. that came up. So it's not to too many people's shock, but the same, they in the end they had freaking Fusilier came off, and they had to put Blemeyer on the flank because they'd already they just subbed him on. I was like, ooh, that's not going to go well, is it? So that always sucks.
Can we also talk about Obana from Newcastle?
Yeah, good for him.
Obana. Excellent first bite at the apple, and every time he was around the ball, something good was happening for his team.
Seen it, yeah.
Attack and defense. So certainly one to watch for the future there. He looked very calm and in the moment, and not at all. It wasn't certainly not too big for him, which is fucking excellent from a debutant.
Oh yeah, absolutely, totally. All right, let's jaunt up to the Rico on Sunday. 2 names I'm going to throw out: Miles Reed
I love Miles Reed
and Jacob Umaga.
And Jacob Umaga's back, baby.
I
think it's official.
Playing with confidence again, which is what he needs. He has the ability. He just needs to be confident in his abilities.
Yep, and he's certainly it's paying off. I mean, 3 try assists. That just excellent tenory. Good guy getting the line break and then distributing, and it's working really well.
Quite. And it's too bad because Bath had this match. They had this match, and they just couldn't quite get it over the line. And this was probably the match of the weekend, honestly. And it just, so close yet so far. The Obano red card didn't help, and honestly, there's not a whole lot that Obano could have done. It's just like that's when you're tired and you don't quite get the bend at the waist because you're tired, and oops.
Yeah. Right. And you're also thinking, big hit, a lot of stuff. And then not to take away the blame on Obano. Absolutely red card all day. He was never going low. He was always going high. The player did dip. He was trying for a big hit shoulder shot. And that's that's the cost of doing business sometimes.
It is.
You next time, just cut him in half.
That's absolutely what you gotta do, man. Yeah, it's absolutely what you gotta do. He did get a try before he walked away, though. So yeah, and there's another guy on that team. His name's Ben Spencer, and he's not too bad these days.
I like how they mentioned, it's when he came on, they mentioned about how all of his tries this year have come when he has been a sub, when he's been a reserve.
Ridiculous.
So, and then there he is 5 minutes later, scored a try. And
foreshadowing there. Yep, just a little bit.
Dropping knowledge.
Yeah. And Thomas Young got himself a brace in this one too, and that's that's good to see him back into form. That a good Thomas Young in form for Wasps is only a good thing. Like that dude on his game is really a nightmare to play against. So I hope we see that more often. Right,
and that's kind of you talk about the guys who are coming back for Wasps and as far as getting back into form. Yeah, Thomas Young, that'll be a big one, and Jacob Umaga. Those guys, I mean, how much better did he fucking Michael LeBourgeois scored a try?
Yes, he did.
Umaga set up LeBourgeois. If you're getting MLB some tries, you're doing good.
You did. You done something right.
Yeah, well done, sir.
Yeah, you're doing something all right.
Yeah. So these, the on for, and that's also why the Launchbury injury is devastating because this is a Wasps team that. Yeah, they still have a shot at top 6, but I'm
sure they'd like that.
That Launchbury getting hurt really.
That's tough.
Those chances.
Yeah, they need Gaskell back in a hurry because if Levi Douglas is that other lock, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Will Rollins is certainly fine, but man, they can't have Levi Douglas as an other lock if they want to make.
Well, they still have Vailanu for
6,
another few weeks.
I'm not sure you want to shove him in there. He's too damn short. Jeez, he's tiny. He's a tiny. Yeah,
but he's roly poly.
Quite.
Just don't move backwards.
Roll him downhill.
Yeah,
go on. Just lay on the ground. We'll roll you. Oh shit. The aforementioned Free Jacks game. Disappointing result. Bit ourselves a couple times without a doubt.
Well,
yeah, Doogie Fife's obviously the man at this point.
Totally the man.
He and Harry Boyle.
I plead the Fife. Yeah,
even the sub Barlow.
They just, everything they did looked like they hadn't really practiced it. It was like, oh, we're doing this, okay, all right, and as they're getting into the shape, or as the ball's being played, they're still getting into the shape, and they're still not really in a position, like, who's getting the ball and who's in the support, who's not even a chance for a pass. And it was really formulaic. There was no, it was forward crash, and then maybe a forward crash off the 10, and then a back play. Like it was, but it was definitely, it's forwards, backs, and it's like, you at this level, you got to be able to attack. You got to show that you can attack from anywhere at any time, and they're not together enough to be doing that yet. Just disappointing there. That's what frustrates me. It's like, I get that you're not, we're not going to get Premiership rugby level quality of play from the players. Fine. At least look like you fucking met each other before the match.
Be a good idea. That'd be generally a good idea.
I mean, they're good. That's the thing. They're excellent players, and Poland and Boyle are going to be fucking excellent when they're fully cooked, but they're still just been put in the oven. So
yeah, a little raw.
Right.
It'll be fun to watch though.
Yeah. They are fun to watch, and I'm not shitting on them or the product or anything like that, because it's still fucking high quality for what we've had in America.
Okay.
I'm just looking forward to when because they will get it together. They will.
Right.
I'm looking forward to that day.
Same. I totally agree with that. Oh yes, I agree. Yeah. So we'll. I'm hoping we see some. I'm hoping we see Josh Larson shoved back in the second row, and we can see Ntembu and Conradi in the same back row together.
I agree.
Well,
I'm not
Justin
really
Johnson.
I'm really not a fan of the Free Jacks locks.
No, Larson's our best lock, and he shouldn't be playing 6.
Right.
So there's no doubt about that. I will say, if they wanted an Eastern Conference rivalry, I'm in, because fuck this Old Glory team.
Yep.
God, they were a bunch of quints. Oh, good Lord.
They play in T-shirts.
Yeah.
That's like that's like something you can get at Walmart.
Yeah, and and we're talking about this team wanted to start shit at every whistle. Throwing balls in faces, and coming from distance. How
is that not a reversal of the penalty?
Yeah,
how is that not like, oh yeah, it was oh, don't do that. No, fuck that. He's a professional. He's not supposed to do you're not reffing clubs here anymore. No. You're not reffing a guy who's playing his first match. And this referee
agreed,
just did the same. He was bad.
And that's why you need TMOs too, because you need them to just buzz down and be like, listen, this is who started it. This is who did all this shit. This is who you're penalizing. End of story on foul play and such like that.
And even the AR told him, he's like, he threw the ball in his face. He's like, all right, well, don't do that anymore.
That's what lights the fucking fire. You don't understand that. You don't want this shit to happen. You have to penalize that, not the other way around. Like that. That's how you stop that shit. End of story. So that was dumb. I was like,
it was hard. It was hard.
Hit you so hard.
And that's why it's like, look, if you want, the players aren't going to provide the Premiership level quality. The referees, it's so much easier to provide that.
You have to.
So much easier to just know your shit and know how to officiate a match, and know how to control a match appropriately, and know how to not control when you don't have to. He stepped in a lot, and then he stepped in too much at times, and then when he needed to really step in, he would back off and just let, just say, oh, whatever. So it's like he just got a lot of things, not everything,
a lot wrong. Yeah.
Backwards.
I can't say that I'm impressed with any of the MLR officials at this point. Mike Lash might be the exception, but I probably need to watch one more game of his. So other than that, that's all that's where it's at. So that's unfortunate, because that is like the thing that can be good, as you said. And you can correct a lot of issues with good refereeing, and right now we just don't have it.
Right.
So unfortunate.
Better refereeing leads to better product.
100% all the time.
And shit refereeing leads to shit product. Like it's not just the players. You gotta step up the. I hope there's a lot of referees in the U.S. Yeah, not all of them do it. Heavily, but find them. Find a referee that actually knows what the fuck they're doing.
Please. All right. Loop around. NOLA beat Atlanta, or NOLA lost to Atlanta. Excuse me. Not sad about that. LA beat San Diego. Dave Dennis went looking for the TMO in that as well. Although it was a good try from out. Yes, I will say that was really brilliant from him.
Exeter man whining about and asking for something he doesn't have. Yeah,
Utah was able to beat Houston. Toronto. I am not ready to play Toronto. My goodness, they are on fire.
New York's playing that
53-12. Woo! Yeah, and then Seattle is just a shadow of their former selves. 42-15, or losing to the Gilgronis.
But they did bring in the best coach.
Supposedly, Rory Best getting a job with them, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's kind of stuff we need to help the league.
Well, once he found out that they were green, he was in.
Right.
They need some help there. Mm-hmm. It's not. I mean, I'm fine with it. We need a new champion. I'm glad.
I think this is the end of their reign. Sorry.
Right. Look forward. They're mortal. Let's now the comeback begins, but they're not.
Yeah. They also had a ton of the Canadian players, and I don't think they have as many as they used to. So, I think that was a big exodus.
Yeah. Well, that's I did complain earlier about talent dilution from expansion like this, but it also means that those players who are concentrated on a team like Seattle will disperse and
go elsewhere. We need to stay at this number for a while. I know the Jackals are joining, but that's it. It needs to stop at that for a while so we can build the talent pools up a little bit.
Build the product.
Yep, 100%. Totally. All right, let's do that. Starts the thing we do so well or so poorly, depending on who you ask.
Right. All right, I guess I'm going first, right? Because I have the three.
You have the Friday match,
or the two. Yeah. That'll be your Hurricanes versus the Highlanders.
Hey-o.
For this, both neither team playing for anything but for some fun. So I'm expecting to see more attack than defense. So from your Canes, Karifi, Flanders, and the entire back line, Ruben Love, Rayasi, Laumape, Proctor, Julian Sevilla, and Jordy Barrett. Yeah, those guys will have some fun. And I do like Ruben Love. Absolutely, and would definitely
be good. He'll come good.
On the other side for the Highlanders, Shannon Frizzell, Jimeno. You're going to play him because you don't have many options. But you're still I would still expect him to be pulled early. For some reason, he's like 50-minute man.
Might not be quite fit
yet. Highlanders. Yeah. Nareki, Tompkinson, and Ioane are full goes.
I have two of those guys. I like that. For the big one in Brisbane, Brumbies in force. For the Brumbies, Rory Scott starting at open side flanker for the Brumbies and should enjoy a decent day out there against the Force. I think this is the end of the line for the Force, unfortunately, as well. But he should, he's kind of a no name, but open side flankers usually will do all right. So go with that. Irai Simoni, Tolzer aren't usually our favorite, me or Ben, but he and the likes of Lomape are exceptions. Their skill sets overcome the 12 hole. Good day in store for him, I believe. On the other side of the coin, Nick White. I understand halfbacks options are limited, so you're going to play him. But keep your expectations to a minimum. He's only scored 9+ twice this season so far, and one of them he needed kicks. So there's that. On the other side for the Force, Richard Kahui presents a different skill set than the man he's replacing to beat the current Johnny. Crafty vet on top of that, so I'd give him and he also could shift to the wing at some point in this match, so give him a thumbs up. Fella, did you see it? You're playing him on the off chance that he does anything close to that again.
Right.
Even if it is against the Brumbies, you're playing him.
Well, fuck, he had no business doing that anyway last week. So.
There you go. And again, this is the one position you probably have a luxury of finding somebody else. Bernard Standard, loose forward, has scored 10 once so far, yet to find the whitewash as well. So I'm not sure he's your guy this going into this one as well. So just go seeking elsewhere. Pine him.
Back over to the Aotearoas. Blues versus Chiefs. Chiefs with nothing to play for and every reason to just kind of take a rest. So I'm not gonna. There's no one for me to suggest on them because I don't know who the fuck's going to be playing. I'm guessing it's going to be a
Trask probably.
Yeah, probably Trask.
That'd be one guy, and Tararangi maybe.
Yeah. Right. Tararangi's probably starting. Oh yeah, and you're not gonna see Damian McKenzie in this match.
No. Nope.
So, it might be a good week once the lineups are released, probably a little later tonight, maybe.
I would guess that, yeah.
To probably go hunting because you'll find a starter.
I bet you do. Mm-hmm.
One reason for me to stay up tonight. Because all the other guys will be asleep.
Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed.
Right. For the Blues, just fucking start everyone.
Yeah,
they'll have because they're going to go full noise likely because they have nothing to play for except pride.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go rock up.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Start of the week. It's a big match for this guy. I think he'll come through for his club. He's playing a team that doesn't tend to surrender fantasy points no matter the outcome, or that tends to surrender fantasy points no matter the outcome. Sorry. With that, my start of the week for week 11 of Super Rugby is Wallabies and Brumbies number 10, Noah Lolesio.
That's a good call. I like it. I'm sticking with the same match, and I'm going with a guy who what I've seen him do is whatever he does, and he's not always the most impressive player, but he has been lately. But he always plays big in big spots, even though he's not the biggest himself. Start of the week for me is Andy Muirhead.
Nice. I like it. I was like, all right, this is either Muirhead or Tom Banks. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I like either. I like it. That's a good pick. Sit. I say this once again as someone that owns this guy in a league, and I need to be wrong about this. But I think him playing way out of position, not in a good way, and the opposition that he's facing this week isn't going to do him a whole lot of favors. So my sit of the week for week 11 of Super Rugby is Highlanders converted outside back Scott Gregory.
Oh yes, I agree. God, at least he can't fuck up high balls anymore.
That's true. That's true.
This is why he's moved, but he's still not very good. No. On my end, I'm staying with the Force and the Brumbies match because the Brumbies are the top team against flankers. This guy has been sneaky productive. He's not. I picked him up, so I'm gonna have to fucking cut him, I think. Mm-hmm. But Kane Kuteka for the Force has been a force. Just the fucking stud out there, certainly fantasy wise, but Brumbies are going to shut him down.
Yeah, end of the line for the big guy.
Yeah,
sorry, dude. Champions Cup. I think you have the Saturday match.
I do have the Saturday match. Toulouse versus Bordeaux. An all French affair. Toulouse for them start their front rows. Yes. Both Arnolds. This is going to be secret inside information, so don't tell anyone. Anton Dupont and Romain Ntamak will win fantasy points for you. Outside of that, Labelle, Kolbe, and Medard, yes. Yeah. On the other side, the Bordeaux front row, yes. Scott Higginbottom, yes. Cameron Wokey, yes. Jalibert. This is going to be fun just for the Ntamak versus Jalibert with a lot on the fucking line. It'll be a ball measuring contest. That'll be fun. Moefana and Santa Cordero.
Santi, yay!
Will get his dancing shoes on.
I don't. Yeah, if he's in that lineup, I don't doubt it for a second. All right, La Rochelle and Leinster. I think this should be a fun one as well. For La Rochelle, Jeffrey Dumeru. Who would be afraid of a Jeffrey? Fourth highest scoring center in the comp for FRD, especially the other match against Sale did not hurt him at all. So you're playing him, no doubt. Retier, Arthur Retier, we talked about him a few weeks ago, might be on the bench, but there's a chance he comes on at wing and he's a halfback. So you got a good shot at him playing. Plus his skill set makes for a decent play, even if he's off the bench. Whichever fly half is on the bench, I would not play him. Like, it's probably going to be play zone, and I have him, which really makes chaps my ass a little bit, but that's how it is. Seems to be La Rochelle just seemed to be a fan of running the fly halves almost the distance. Mm-hmm. So not sure how much playing time he's going to get from the bench. Even if I don't think it'll be West. I think West is the fly half from the get go unless he's hurt. On the contrary, Leinster, Ross Byrne, exact opposite of what I just said. Mm-hmm. He'll probably come on for old man Sexton and will serve anyone in a pinch.
Sexton's out.
Is he out?
He's out.
I did not know that. All right, Ross Byrne, that's your guy then. Never mind. Yeah. Hey, I'm glad I have him in one league.
Right.
Josh Van der Fleer, potential Lions bolter. We'll see. He'll have that up in the back of his head just the same. So and he's also one of the top scoring loose forwards. So he's a go as well. Halfbacks either could be problematic in this match because they split time pretty well. Gibson Park and McGrath. So that should be interesting. But at the same time, I guess you're going to play one or the other because you know that they're both going to get time.
Right.
But at the same time, it could eat into your points. So just kind of keep that.
Yeah, that's a 9. How much are you expecting? I mean, if
you're
you
hoping for probably 9 or 10 if you have that. I mean, unless your name's DuPont.
Yeah, right. You're hoping so. You can still get 9 or 10 from the sneaky little 9 try.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Of the weeks for on my end, Romain and Tamac. I was going DuPont, and then I said, no, wait, Jared's going to go DuPont, so I'm going into Mac. So into Mac.
Funny thing you say that because I didn't. Well, I think Saturday. I honestly think Saturday's match is going to be an arm wrestle like it was the last time. That was an all French. Last couple of all French affairs we've seen, familiar foes and all that. So Sundays, I think it's going to be wide open. Especially the way Leinster can attack, and La Rochelle seem to be a fan of keeping that ball alive, as Ronan O'Gara likes to say. So the best players in wide open games, for me, resides with the boys in blue. He'll pay off big for someone like this, for someone looking to close their gap in their semifinal. So my start of the week for Champions Cup semifinal is Ireland and Leinster fullback Hugo Keenan.
Good call. I'm supportive of that call as well.
Yeah, I think you'll have a day.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, though, because my sit of the week comes from the Leinster backfield. And they have, look, it's not going to be Keenan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be James Lowe. Because, he's still going up against, who's he going up against? I can't recall at the moment. But that's not the important part. The important part is that Jordan Larmour is going up against Dylan Leeds.
Oh,
and I like Leeds in that matchup a lot for a lot of reasons, even though Larmour might be the more natural talent. The experience and talent beat talent and youth more frequently than not. So Jordan Larmour, expect not much.
Okay. Should be interesting. Okay. So and as I mentioned before, my opinion is the arm wrestle will be on Saturday. That's a fantasy nightmare for most people. And the points will be few and far between if that's the case. Couple that with this guy's scores, not quite otherworldly stuff, and I think his club's going to need it to pull off the win. I'm just not sure he's going to get it. So my set of the week for semifinal Champions Cup is Bordeaux and Wallabies number 8, Scott Higginbotham.
Also fair.
Yeah, because if that is said arm wrestle, he hasn't scored well in those types of matches.
No, he wouldn't. Because
not quite his
your
game.
8 is not gonna do well when it's
Nope.
when it's
bad news bears, man. Bad news bears.
They're doing too much bashing to go for a run.
I agree. Yeah, that'll happen, man. Okay, let's do a quick whip through on the Yanks League. Getting to the sharp end of the season here. Carrick upended me, so now I'm need to win situation coming up next weekend. Not this coming weekend, the weekend after. Mark beat Justin. Anton beat Duncan, and you were able to upend George, which kind of helped me because I need to chase him down.
Well, yeah, it helped. I don't even know if I'm. I guess at 7-10, I'm still alive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not quite out of it.
No, not quite there.
But I need to. I got a little need to do a little work, and that put me in the right direction.
Yep, there you go. On the super side, Mark was able to beat. Mark lost to Justin. Excuse me. Anton beat Carrick, so Anton had a good weekend in the Champions League. George just edged me in what was a bit of an ugly one because we had a couple of minuses in our league, in our game, and then Duncan decided to open it up on you. Looks like.
What do I have? A fucking kick me sign on my back?
I guess so. That was a oof on that one.
Because I didn't score too badly myself.
No, you scored just fine, just 99, and in that league's good.
Yeah, right. Third highest score in the league this week. It was kind of a down week for points.
Yes.
But yeah, they were all on Justin and Duncan's team.
Right. So we have, let's see, in Champions League. So you are chasing down George with a 20-point gap, and Duncan has about a 50-point gap on Anton. And then on the other half of the consolation bracket, it's a tight one. And between Justin and Carrick, it's 4-point gap there. Justin with the advantage. I got a lot of room to make up. I am going to be in so much trouble. I've got about 50 points to make up on Mark somehow. That's not happening. I think that's the end of my Champions Cup FRD right there. And on the other side of the universe here, Mark and I are going at it. You and Justin are going at it for Super. And George and Anton, as well as Carrick and Duncan. So we'll see how that goes. Interesting stuff going on down there, and not a whole lot of change in TRM ladder here. I think the only shift was
I moved up. Didn't I move up?
You're 2.
I thought I was 3 last week.
I think if you were 3, you were only 3 by a little bit, I'm guessing.
I wasn't. It was close.
Yeah.
But the captaining of Marcus Smith paid off.
Right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I wasn't. I passed ahead of Duncan a while, I guess last week or so.
Maybe that was it. And then Mark
closing in on Anton.
Made a switch with
42 points
Justin.
away.
Yeah, that's gonna come down to the wire up there.
It is. The 3 of us are
the 3 of you, then
you.
Then it's then
you're pretty much alone at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of in no man's land right now.
Yeah,
I've got a little bit of a gap behind and ahead.
Yeah, you're 200 points either side.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh well, keep on fighting the good fight. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
All right, this will be nice and quick. Pick 'em. Super Rugby, Canes Highlanders.
Canes.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Hurricanes this weekend. I know the Highlanders have playing some real good stuff, but Hurricanes got to have one soon here.
Yeah, but the Highlanders may just go, see what they've got in the tank. So we'll see. And not go full noise. Who knows? Well,
their lineups out, but
that's right. Fuck, I forgot. I don't know.
It looks like it'll be a good match.
Yeah,
same. Blues and Chiefs. I'm going to take the Blues. Chiefs might name a really cruddy
it's
side.
Absolutely the Blues. Yeah, it's absolutely the Blues. That's why I was like, start all the Blues.
Brumbies and Force.
Brumbies.
Sorry. Amazing story of the Force.
I mean,
the line.
It would be fucking awesome if they win. And
I agree.
Be picking the Brumbies doesn't mean I'm not going to be rooting for the Force.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you're going to root for your Chiefs to beat the Blues just the same.
Yeah. I just don't really care. It'll be to me. It'll be a match where I don't have to care for.
There you go.
I might just keep those emotions for later.
There you go. That's probably a good plan. Champions Cup. I know who I'm picking because I know who my finalists were in my head going into this thing. So Toulouse, Bordeaux.
Toulouse.
Toulouse to win.
Yeah.
And then La Rochelle and Leinster.
Leinster, because I had them in the finals, I'm sure.
Same.
I think. Yeah.
Same. Yep. Okay. Well, no ground getting gained or
really
lost.
Good. Even with a backup 10, I don't care.
Ross Burns, good enough.
Yeah,
by far good enough.
Not quite a backup, really.
No, yeah, he's very good.
Backup is probably better than whoever's starting on the other side. So
yeah, West probably. I agree. I disagree. Okay, so good stuff there. Hope everybody enjoys the semifinals this weekend. Should be some really good stuff and set us up for a nice European final coming up here. We need 8 names, second tier of Champions League, so get it to us. Questions, fantasyrugbypodcast@gmail.com. Tweet at Ben or I if you know where we're at. If you don't, look at the show notes. Other than that, thanks a lot for hanging out with us, guys. We appreciate it so much, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Later.